keep California cowgirls from vanishing.
Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show, training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Susie, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse Semi. Training Eve to drive cart. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve to lay down. Training Eve to harness, pull a log. Training Semi to harness, pull a log on turf. Jumping at liberty to music, making our Morgan horses our partners. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator. Training on our driveway, which is covered by sand, so we have a straight track. Stepping over poles, jumping over crossbar jumps. Training in our trail obstacles area. Semi on the big steps. Morgan horse Sadie doing obstacles rainlessly.
Semi drives a cart. Sadie pulls a log. Sadie learns to pull a cart. Miniature zebu heifer Susie learns to drive a cart. Bull Rusty learns to pull a harrow. In this session, we continue to train Morgan mare Semi to accept the moving board.
Semi, and this is part 3 of our board barrels obstacles tip show. We need a part 3 because Semi, in the last part, showed some concern about the moving board. Even Sadie did very well, but Semi needs some more training. All right, now leaving the camera where it is, Brianna's going to come over here and on the tail end, just lift the board. We're trying to get Semi used to the board in the air. Girl, I'm watching her body language. I'm not seeing licking of the lips. I do see a cocked back foot, which is good. I'm not seeing bulging eyes, but I'm seeing a little bit of concern. Here it is in the air, not turning around any axis yet, just moving in the air. Let's put it down now. That was a short challenge, but I wanted to stop on a good note. Okay, that's using her right eye. I'm going to try to move her around now. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Back, back. Let her investigate. At any time, she could pull out from my lead line hold here. That's why I have a cotton lead line, a rope halter, and we're entirely unfenced here in my obstacles area. Okay, lift it. Brianna's lifting it on the tail end slowly. Semi's investigating. That's very good. She's backing off. I'm going to make nice. Ask her to come up again. Good. You can see it's a different challenge with the other eye, the other half of the brain. Lift it up slowly. Put it down. I'm going to stop on a good note. We'll show you our progress.
Here we work with Semi in the covered square pen with another board barrels obstacle, first with lead line and then in saddle.
Semi into my covered square pen through an unusual door that she's never used before, with some vinyl jumps around it because we're trying to get her totally desensitized to vinyl jumps and styrene poles, and we're doing quite well with repetition. And look, we have a board barrels obstacle set up in here, and look at Semi, look around. The purpose of today is just to let her do that. Look around. Let her investigate all these things. Careful that chain that I left hanging out there in the sand, maybe kind of stop for a minute, keeping Semi's attention. You see, we have the metal cavesson on Semi. It gives us a little bit more control than any other head stall we've ever used. And we only use it when we think we might need that control. Now, Semi's going to check it out, as you can see. But don't let her go any more closer to it. Be careful. We don't want her to go through it or drop it. We just want to give her the opportunity today to check out this obstacle, this board barrels obstacle, with a couple of spooky objects that we're going to work with more. And she's looking much more relaxed now. And that's what we want. We're going to try to do this a few more times. Then we're going to get into saddle and lead her up to the board barrels. We're actually going to, I'll do it right now, but just ever so slightly, because we did it yesterday out in the obstacles area and she was fine. Just going to move it around a little bit, rattle it. Okay, can you walk around me? Resistance. Watch that. We want that eyeball looking over here. Kicking it up, just on one end. Making the rattle noise from the chain. Good. Now I'm going to pick it up from this end. Noise. Bring the chain up high. Well, we've gotten through the first step. Desensitize Semi to the board barrels obstacle that's here in the covered square pen. Just the very first step. Can you go the other direction? We noticed the other day in the obstacles area that it was yet another challenge, and we kind of anticipated it, that when she went the other direction and saw it with her other eye, there was a little bit new concern. You see, what is that? As if she hadn't just seen it 4 times around in the other direction. Okay, can you pick up one end and still feel safe to hold her? Just pick up the chain. Let her see that it comes up besides making noise. Here you go. A little bit of concern, a little bit. Investigation, as Semi usually does when it comes to obstacles. And there you go. our very brief introduction to Shadrach, Triton, Semi in the covered square pen with the board barrels obstacle. And with Semi in the covered square pen with the board barrels obstacle. Today we have a saddle on. And we're going to try to take the next step, which is in saddle. Katie's getting in saddle right now. See if Katie can lean over and pick up one end. Semi's investigating now. She almost always does, we know that. Yes, she said, oh my goodness, it moved. So we're just going to do this for a few minutes, walk around, let her investigate, and we'll turn the camera back on when we're ready for the next step. Well, we're just kind of repeating what we did from the ground the other day in saddle. In a moment, I'm going to go up to the end of the board that's closest to the camera and help Katie lift it up in the air. And we'll see if Semi gets riled, stressed, and if so, we'll put it back down and we will do it in smaller steps. And here I go. She is concerned. We're just going to lift it up ever so slightly. Yeah, she doesn't like the moving board. Look at that face. You can drop the chain. I've got it here. Walk around again. Give her confidence. Making a lot of noises here. I want Semi to know it's not dangerous to be here, that she can walk around, no problem. Why don't you stop on that end and lift it from that end? She's watching. She's a little bug-eyed, but she's standing still. Look at that. We're just rocking the board. She's wondering about it, but she's standing still. Let's put it down. Okay, I'm going to turn off the camera because we're going to do some more repetition of this and then let you know how she's doing after that. Well, we've been walking her around it for a couple minutes, making a lot of chain noise. Now we're going to try it from the other side, which is where she got a little bit spooked before. First, Katie has to get her in position, and then I'll go and help pick up the board ever so slightly. Yeah, we're having trouble getting her to keep her feet still. That's probably the stress coming out. And we show you when we have problems like this so that you can see how we deal with them. Okay, just stand for a minute. Let's not even aim for it. Don't bend down for it. She's more concerned on that side, which is not unusual at all. One side is usually much harder than the other. So just stand there and I'm going to come and lift this side. Let's see how she behaves. She doesn't have any trouble with high chains. She's watching it come up. A little bit concerned, her ears are back. Katie can feel a little bit of tension. Now I'm moving it on its axis over there, you see. She's much better than she was last time we tried that. Now I moved
the base toward her. So it made a sliding sound on the barrel. Yet another concern. As I've said before, this is a very challenging obstacle. Okay, now I'm going to come back, and if you can successfully lift it, and Semi will stand there for you, I'll try to lift my side. Side pass over. Okay, let's just stand for a little while with that chain in the air. I'm not seeing a lot of tension. She seems okay, Katie? A little bit of concern right there because it made a little bit of a noise. Let's leave well enough alone. Just put it down. And when she put it down, she scampered. So, okay, we can't stop on that note. We need to practice that and get her to not scamper when we put it down. So we'll turn the camera back on after we practiced for a little while. Okay, you can see that Semi seems okay, even though the chain's up, even though she knows the board's probably going to come up. So let's see if we can do it quietly this time. All right, Sam. Perfect. That's all we want to do today. Let's put it down. Small steps. Stop on a good note. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And we feel good about Semi's progress on the board barrels obstacles today in the covered square pen. Obstacle. We've just been warming her up out here, trying to get small steps and good woes, because we're going to have to maintain those to move the board. Good. This is a different setting. Same obstacle, actually a similar obstacle because we have one in both places, the covered square pen and here. So she's checking it out, which she always does. Okay. All right. Now, if Katie can lean down and pick up the chain, I'm going to go to the other end and pick up my chain on that end, and we're going to see if Semi is going to be spooked by the moving board. Okay, how about one hand up, the other down? Yes, that helps. Okay, you're in a good position. See if you can do one small step forward. Leaning over sometimes sends the wrong message. The horse thinks they're supposed to go forward. But Semi stopped right away when Katie asked her to. And we're doing okay with the high chain and the noise of the chain. And now I'm going to go to the other end and see if we can do at least as well as we did in the square pen in our last session. She's looking, but not running, not yet. Good, Sam. She has to trust us to do this. Okay, let's put it down. That was really very good, but you know what? Once again, everything has to be done in both directions. So we just did it with the left eyeball, and she did get a little bulgy in the eyeball, but then settled down. Now we're going to do it with the right eyeball. Picking up the chain. She hears it. Her ears are back. She's listening to it. Still. Her feet are still.
of concern. Good girl, Sam. Much better than last time when we were out here. Let's put it down. And you know what? I'm going to give her a reward. A reward by letting her go out on a short trail ride in the warmth of the sun. We're going on to the next small step. We're going to try to ask Semi to allow her rider to move the board, and I will help move it. We're going to try to go to the other barrel with the board in Katie's hand. Let's see what happens. Got bug eyes. And now we'll try it another 180. What do you think? All right, here we go. Well, if the first 180 was a B+, that one was an A+. And so we're going to keep practicing until we're comfortable doing it yet with another horse at the other end, and we'll show you when that gets done. Is with Semi again, but we're going to use Eve to help move the board, and we have Brianna here on foot because we don't want this board falling down for either of the horses in case we have some stresses that we can't deal with without letting go. So we're anticipating that that might happen, and hopefully Brianna will just grab it and we'll just get better next time by repetition. Now, we haven't rehearsed. Semi just got out here. Eve is ready to go. Let's see what she does. If you recall, look in part 2 of the Board Barrels Obstacles Tips. You'll see Eve did it just fine for Sadie, her daughter. However, at the very end of the first 180-degree turn, she veered away from the barrel, and we said, we got to practice. So we have been, and we don't know if she'll be better today, but we've been practicing. Woo. Okay, now we got to lean down and get the chain. Remember, this is a long chain. It rattles, but it gives you a lot of room to hold it up. And if we have to drop it, that's okay. Now, Eve is here just to support Semi. Can you see Semi, Ryan? With the, okay. And so Katie is the leader. And we're just going to pick up this end of the barrel. This is like the adjusted Board Barrels obstacle. And see if we can get switched around here. Eve will be on the other end. We hope that Semi will be over here. And the barrel will still have the board on top of it, only reversed. It's up to you. And Brianna, you just have to stay out of the way. Remember, we have to do this one-handed. Sitting on my pockets. Try to get Evie to go slow. Semi veered off, but okay. And we're going to put it down.
Okay, easy.
There. Okay. Actually, Eve did very well. What happened with Semi? I was so concentrating on Eve.
Was a little scared of the board coming towards her, so she veered off from it. But
okay, but she was handleable.
Yeah, she's controllable. Okay,
let's try it again. We're going to go another 180 degrees, repetition. Ooh. Okay, wait, now wait till I say okay. Now here, Evie might veer off, so I'm trying to sit on my pockets. Whoop. Release as soon as I get a small step and relaxation. Wait a minute, Evie's not quite ready. And then you just have to make sure that we stay out of the way of the board. Okay, I see you out of my peripheral vision. Whoop, whoop. Okay, we're all right. She listened. Whoop. Oh. Gosh, that was much better. What's the clue here? Small steps. Immediate response to the whoa command and anticipate. anticipate. So besides just doing it one-handed, I kind of listened to her body. I focused where I wanted to go. I released pressure with my reins as soon as I could when I felt that I was getting the right answer. At the same time, I was trying to watch my partner here because we're really trying to help Semi do it. And any comments? Was she fine?
She was better that time than the first time.
Do you feel we should do it again, or do you want to stop on this note? Sometimes it's a hard decision to make.
I think she could do it better, but she did it well this time.
Let's try one more time since we've got this whole crew here. Okay, so let me get around here. I'm going to two-hand Evie around, looking where I want to go. Good, Eve. Now, let's wait a minute. No rush. Gonna bend down. You got yours already. Evie's being real good about letting me bend down. Okay. Wait. Okay. I'm ready.
Easy.
Whoop. Whoop.
Whoop.
Whoop. If we gave a grade of C to the first one, B to the second one, and an A- on the third, would you agree, Katie?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll keep practicing. And if you have any questions, you please contact me, because this is an obstacle that was suggested by the American Competitive Trail Horse Association. I adjusted it a little bit to make it more challenging and a duo obstacle, so two horses are involved. And I'd be glad to give you any tips on what you may not have already seen on our Urban Cowgirl show.
Our cast of characters: Sadie and Eve, Semi, Rusty and Susie, Heifer Calf Sela. For more information, www.cowgirlchannel.com.